Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Roden, and today, first of all, I got a new hat. Let me know if you guys like the hat. But today, we are going to be doing the best Chevrolets that you can buy for less than $5,000. Now, we have been doing a little bit of a like brand-specific series for a little while now. We started with Honda, then we did Lexus, then we did Toyota. No, maybe? I don't know. We did a couple different little brands, and we did cars from that brand for less than $5,000. And today we're going to do it with Chevy, because some of you guys like Chevys, and I also like Chevys. But before we get into this video, really quick, if you guys want to buy any merchandise, hat, shirts, or shorts, go ahead on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop to pick yourself up any. It goes a long way. You don't have to, obviously, but if you want to, it's there. Without further ado, let's get right into the video with number 10. All right, partner, buddy, and friend. Coming in at the number 10 spot is going to the Chevy Cruze first generation. This is the Chevy Cruze that pretty much everybody knows and loves. The new one is kind of little not a lot of people you know what I'm saying, like it makes me go ewy. It's not cool. It's not a really cool car, but this first gen, it's pretty nice. It comes with a 1.8 liter turbocharged inline 4 making 140 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Obviously has this very like small horsepower number, not a big V8 motor, and it's front wheel drive, which isn't that common from Chevy, but that's because this is one of their economy cars, you know. So if you're looking for a daily driver or something like that, then this is the one for you. There are going to be obviously some V8 powered typical Chevys, but this is just, if you're a stance guy too, like if you like stance in cars, it's another good option. And they're dirt cheap. Coming in at the number 9 spot, however, is going to go to either one of the two generations of the Chevy S10. The first gen was obviously earlier, and it was built in like the beginning of the 90s, and then the second gen was built towards like the end of the 90s and the early 2000s. I would recommend the second generation just because I think it's just a lot better, but it's really up to you. There's not that big of a difference between the two. They're both reliable, both pretty good. The second gen, however, comes with a 4.3 liter V6 making 190 horsepower, and it's obviously a 4x4. These little trucks are the trucks that all like the grandpas drive if they don't like Fords, because all the other grandpas are driving the Ford Rangers, and then these grandpas are like, I don't like Fords. I never liked Fords in my life, and so they're driving the Chevy S10s, and you got to give them credit where credit is due. These things are really fun. They're rear wheel drive, obviously, before you change them into 4x4 mode, so you can turn it into like a drift truck if you want to. You could obviously do the typical stuff and put it into an off-road build and go wherever you want to. It's just an all-around good car. Coming in at the number 8 spot is going to a car that I literally know nothing about just besides the name. I found it while making this video. It's the Chevy Lumina first gen. This car could be incredibly horrible, and some Chevy guys are gonna come into the comments and roast me for recommending this car to people. I don't know. I was looking up, I was like, okay, I got a lot of Chevys, but I need some more that are under 5K that are somewhat cool, and this thing looked pretty cool. It comes with a 3.4 liter V6 making 200 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. Obviously being front wheel drive is a little what are we gonna do about it? But 200 horsepower in a V6 powered Chevy isn't that bad. I kind of like that, and it looks pretty good too. Like, I feel like obviously if they're good, then these are pretty underrated cars because they look incredible. They look really, really cool. I also, when I was looking it up, I saw pictures of like this car as a NASCAR. So maybe they used the Chevy Lumina as a NASCAR type of car, which would be pretty sick as well. But I don't know. I don't know much about the Lumina. I just think it looks cool. Coming in at the number 7 spot is going to go to the Chevy Monte Carlo that was built in like the 80s and like the beginning of the 90s and the late 80s. That's like the one that freaking no, I was about to say Jesse Pinkman drove it in Breaking Bad, but I don't think he drove a Monte Carlo. Did he drive a Monte Carlo? I can't think of it right now, but it's a Monte Carlo. Obviously, you'll see a video of what it looks like on the screen. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's that one. And yes, these are under 5K. They come with a 5 liter V8 making 180 horsepower, and it is rear wheel drive. You may be asking yourself, how does a freaking 5 liter V8 only make 180 horsepower, Mark? Well, first of all, bud, I'm not an engineer, okay? I'm not the one making the Chevys. You can take it out on them. But second of all, it's because it was during the gas crisis in America, so they had to cut back a lot of horsepower on their V8 powered muscle cars so they could sell them, so people didn't have to spend $5 million for 1 gallon of gas. And it makes sense when you think about that, but it does kind of suck because all the cars during that era are very slow, and this one is no different. Coming in at number 6 spot, let's get out of that era for a second. This is like right after the gas crisis area, actually, is the 4th generation Chevy Camaro SS. Like I said, this car was built like right after our booties got out of rock bottom, and we were kind of finally coming back and making some fast cars. And so this one was a return to that, a return to the, you know, fast high horsepower numbered V8 Camaros, and it came with a 5.7 liter V8 making 300 horsepower, and it is rear wheel drive. 300 horsepower is pretty good. This is an LS powered Camaro. If you know anything about LS motors, you know that they're absolutely amazing. This one comes with the LS, you don't have to swap it in, so hello. You can make incredible horsepower out of it. Everybody says it doesn't look good, it looks like a catfish, and I do agree. I think it looks kind of it looks like that. Like, I don't like it either. But if you're going for strictly speed and performance and you're like a drag racing kind of boy, it's an amazing option, one of the best. Coming in at the number 5 spot, let's take it back to where we started with the Chevy Cruze, back to the economy market from Chevrolet, and talk about the Chevy Cobalt SS. Yes, the normal Cobalt is a very boring car that nobody wants to talk about because it looks like fecal matter. But the Cobalt SS, dude, that little SS trim, you know what that means? SmoothStance, which means it's pretty cool. That's exactly what it stands for, actually. It comes with a 2.3 liter turbocharged inline-4, making 260 horsepower in its front-wheel drive. There also is a supercharged version of the Cobalt SS that makes a little bit less horsepower, so pick your poison there. But they're both very good, in my opinion. I love them. I think they look pretty decent. I'm not going to be like, oh, they look great. I don't think they look great, but they look decent, and their performance is really there to back it up. If you like the SRT4, the Focus STs, the Civic SIs, Mazda Speed 3s, if you like those kinds of cars, front wheel drive tuner cars, you will love the Cobalt SS. Let's go back to the Monte Carlos for a second. We're going all the way back over there. I'm hopping on an airplane to go there right now to talk about the most recent version of the Chevy Monte Carlo SS. This is underrated as hell. I don't care what anybody says, dude. This thing is sick and nobody talks about it, and it makes me angry. I even made a TikTok and I was like, oh, cars that nobody talks about, Monte Carlo SS, most recent version. And even that video, like, nobody even mentioned anything. I was like, are you kidding? Nobody even cares about this thing, man. It comes with a 5.3 liter V8, V8, that makes 303 horsepower, and it's front wheel drive. Very weird to have a V8 in a front wheel drive car, but I mean, 303 horsepower, that makes up for that, man, because holy. Now, this is once again this is going to be a little bit heavier than something like the Cobalt SS, and since it does have that V8, when you modify it, it's going to even make more power, so you're going to have to get some fat boy wheels on there in order to keep the car planted and actually get traction. But once you do, dude, this thing's going to be a rocket ship. Coming in at 3rd place, the bronze medal of this list is going to go to the Chevy Silverado 1500 Cateye. You knew I had to do it to them. I like the Silverados. I'm not a big truck guy at all. Obviously, you guys kind of know that. But when it comes to like big, large pickup trucks, the Silverado is, I would say, my favorite. They just look really cool. And my family's always been a Chevy kind of family anyway, so I kind of just have to like them, or else my dad will disown me. It comes with a 5.3 liter V8 making 285 horsepower, and it is a 4x4. Very average. It's a gas-powered truck, not a turbo diesel, so if you're looking to tow like space shuttles, then don't buy one of these, buy a diesel. But if you're just looking to tow, you know, some good old kitten food, it'll get the job done. You know, you could probably do that also in a Honda Civic, but I'm just, you know, if you want to do it in a pickup truck, you could do that. They also look pretty decent in my opinion. They're really cheap for what they are, and yeah, they're a truck. If you like trucks, here you go. Coming in at 2nd place is going to a little bit of an oddball, one that you probably doesn't deserve to be in 2nd place, but I love it. It's the 3rd generation Chevy Camaro Z28. The Z28. Remember when they used to have those? I don't think they have they made a Z28 since the 4th gen? I don't think they have. They might have. I don't know, but I don't think they have. The Z28 used to be so cool though. This is like the IROC Camaro, like that generation. It's that one, by the way. It comes with a 5 liter V8 making 145 horsepower in its rear wheel drive. Obviously, that horsepower number is very questionable for a 5 liter V8. I mean, we were just talking about the freaking Monte Carlo that made 180 horsepower with a 5 liter V8, and we were even making fun of that one. This one has even less. So it's definitely, you know, not the fastest out there. You gotta do some work to make this thing into a race car if you want to, but they're dirt cheap because of the fact that they have no horsepower. So if you like how they look and you don't really care about how fast it is, dude, it's a bargain. But 1st place, the Chevrolet that I think is the best for less than $5,000 is going to go to the C4 Corvette. This is the only Corvette. Besides, you could find C3 Corvettes for under 5K sometimes too, but I don't recommend buying a C3 Corvette for under 5K. It's probably going to have like mice having intercourse in the inside and like beetles you know, selling crack cocaine, so you don't want that. But the C4 Corvette is a really good option. It comes with a 5.7 liter V8 making 245 horsepower, and it's rear wheel drive. 245 horsepower is like the number I just kind of went with. It literally, like, every year of the C4 Corvette they change the horsepower number, so it really just depends on what year you get. Make sure you're looking into that before you pick it up. So I just went with 245 because I was like, oh, that's a nice looking number, I guess. But there's a ton of different numbers. But either way, it's a Corvette, dude. Even though, yes, it is like the ugliest version of the Corvette and it's the slowest version of the Corvette, dude, it gets the job done. These things handle like a monster. They got a V8. They look still pretty cool. They're rear wheel drive. They're lightweight. They're aerodynamic. They're great. It's a Corvette. Pick one up. But ladies and gentlemen, glasses are back on. But yeah, I know, scared you there. Scared you. A little bit of a jump scare action. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. You guys know the typical YouTube spiel that everybody gives out there. I was watching this video the other day and some guy was like, literally spent like 5 minutes being like, in the beginning of the video being like, if you guys liked the video, please be sure to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, and I was like, dude, get on with this, man. It was ridiculous. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.